If you're an OnlyFans agency owner or you're a solo creator in 2024, Twitter or X can be a literal game changer when it comes to increasing the amount you make on your clients' pages from $500 a day all the way up to something like $2K or even more per day. And in this video, I'm gonna share with you guys the 3 most repeatable and scalable strategies that you can implement right now to grow your client's Twitter or X to this point where you're 5xing your growth. And if you stay to the end of this video, I'm gonna share a bonus tip that I've pretty much never heard mentioned on any other OFM videos out there. So make sure you to watch all the way to the end of the video. Also, before we jump in, I'm actually going to be starting up a brand new Telegram community channel for OnlyFans managers and solo creators alike, where I'm gonna share tips, tricks, and results a little bit more frequently. So shoot me a DM on Instagram or Telegram, which is in the description of my video. But let's go ahead and get into this video right now. So X, or Twitter, is a platform that at this point here in 2024 has the least strict rules out of any platform and the least amount of pitfalls, really, which is actually kind of refreshing. But with that being said, because of this, there is a lot more competition when it comes to how many creators are on Twitter, because it's much easier to use and the barrier to entry is a lot lower, right? This means that if you are using Twitter as a legit traffic source and you don't want to half-ass it, you need good strategies that can be repeated easily and can be done on a very large scale basis. So the first method I'm going to talk about here when it comes to growing Twitter for OF is mother-slave. So you should work on gradually building out and scaling a mother-slave retweet or repost farm on Twitter. The way that the Twitter algorithm works when it comes to promoting content is that it looks how much a post is being liked and reposted and engaged with. So if you have hundreds of accounts reposting a post on your mother page, Twitter is going to see that and determine that it is quality content and it is going to promote it to more people on Twitter, right? Think of it as a retweet group. However, it's fully controlled by yourself as the agency rather than relying on other people to do their part. So there's less variables that you're dealing with. There are some nuances to doing this to keep in mind for this to actually work. So like, for example, each Twitter slave account must be on its own proxy with its own IP, because if you don't, and they're all just using the same IP, this won't work because Twitter will recognize that. If you don't have a proxy bulk dealer with high quality proxies, this can get really expensive. So what I would do is reuse proxies that you're using for other things like Reddit, for example, and just double up on your use cases for each individual proxy that you have. I'm actually going to quickly run through the setup process of slave accounts on Twitter right now. So first, you need to set up and get a proxy on an anti-detect browser like Dolphin Anti or AdsPower or Incogniton, for example, and then add your VA to that browser. Then you need to get an aged Gmail. I actually have an aged female Gmail provider that I can provide the information for. If you need it, just shoot me a message on Instagram or Telegram. I have no problem doing that. But then you'll log into that Gmail on the same proxy that you're going to be setting up for the Twitter. Go to x.com, set up the account through Google with the aged Gmail that you've already selected. Set the name as the full name of whichever model you're doing this for, and then change this to just the first name once the actual account is created. Then set the profile picture and banner, which should just be random pictures of whatever model you're doing this slave account for. The profile picture dimensions are 400 by 400 pixels, and the banner is 1500 by 500 pixels. You can make the necessary adjustments in Canva or at canva.com. And then after that, add a bio that tags the main account and references that the slave account is a backup account, and then create a unique tracking link and put that on the website section. Once you do all this though, you can have your VAs use this account to retweet posts from all of your models pages for every single post that gets made on each mother account. Now, it doesn't have to be just the page that the account is associated with. Like, all slave accounts that you make can repost all mother accounts within your agency. So because you're keeping it within the same engagement group when you're doing that, right? Then just rinse and repeat, and eventually you can build this up so you have hundreds of accounts retweeting each other, and you have a very powerful tool for yourself and your clients, and you'll be flooded with new followers literally in no time. Now, the second method that you can implement is comment baiting on Twitter. You can do comment baiting on threads that are related to your model's look and niche using these slave accounts that you just created for the mother slave reposting and retweet farm that I just talked about. So the idea behind this is getting your model's content in front of as many eyes of your target audience as possible. To do this, you should have your VAs spend a bit of time curating the Twitter feed for each account so that it shows content related to your model's niche. You'll need to do a bit of research up front for yourself and your VAs, and you'll need to find accounts and content creators within your client's niche relatively manually. And make sure you spend ample time doing this, because once you do, you'll be able to repeatedly use these accounts and scale this out across all slave accounts that you have created for that specific model. Just go and like and scroll the feed and engage and follow these accounts that you've researched. And eventually Twitter will recognize the type of content that you are looking for and will start showing you more of it, right? That's when you can put the actual method into action. What you are going to want to do is copy the most recent picture that was posted on your mother page's account, and then reply to as many posts as possible on that feed that you've curated with just that picture. So you're literally just going in and replying and copying and pasting that picture to every single post and rinsing and repeating. Just scroll and comment that picture over and over again to all the posts you see on that feed that you've made. Your VAs can literally do this for hours on end. You will have to switch accounts though, based on temporary shadow bans that get placed on the account by Twitter. So that's why you need to have multiple slave accounts in order to scale this and to be able to do this on hours on end. You'll want to have your VAs checking shadow ban checkers, which I'm actually going to go ahead and link in the description of this video, and pay special attention to the reply deboosting section, as that is the section that will limit your results when it comes to the comment baiting if it's flagged. Now, keep in mind, Twitter shadow bans are almost always temporary, and the account will likely be perfectly fine the very next day. Now, the third and final tip that I'm going to give you when it comes to growing Twitter and driving Twitter traffic to OnlyFans that I wanted to talk about here is caption baiting. When you make posts on Twitter for the mother pages that you have, you should be thinking of captions that get people to engage, right? So an example of this that I've seen and we've actually used for our mother pages that works pretty well is something like, "Fuck it!" exclamation points. Like and repost this for the video. With this, you're not really referencing any video in particular. Just keep it vague so guys get curious, and don't actually send any videos to anyone, and make sure the Twitter DMs are off as well. But this will get people to like and repost in hopes of getting surprised, and also might actually get them to just flat out subscribe to OnlyFans as well. So do this on as many posts as possible on your mother page as possible, and you will see engagement and following go up dramatically. All it takes is just a bit of creativity and you'll be seeing results literally in no time. But all right, guys, so you've made it to the end of the video. So my bonus tip for you hardcore peeps is buying Twitter Premium for your mother pages. Now, the benefits associated with this is that replies get boosted and promoted on posts you comment bait on. You'll have to get the model to use her ID and verify on Twitter, of course, but if you do this and do the comment baiting strategy I mentioned as the second tip in this video on the main account rather than a bunch of slave accounts, you can get exponentially better results. It's fully up to you if you want to do this though, as it does cost a bit of money to get verified and can only be done once per model, since your model can only get verified on one Twitter account. But that's pretty much it, guys. Using these methods will certainly increase your following from Twitter and increase the amount of subs you get over time on OnlyFans, as long as you stick with it. And I do appreciate you guys watching. Make sure you guys leave a comment in the comment section below if there's something you have a question about or a thought that maybe I missed out on here. But other than that, like, share, and subscribe. I'm out, y'all.